Hey guys, and what is up? And welcome to this prison architect video. Today I'm gonna show you all 5 really easy tips to build an amazing and secure prison that gives a lot of profit in the process. Because recently I've seen that so many people are asking how you build a good prison that gives profit, because a lot of people are confused on how the system works. So I'm gonna give you 5 tips to make it amazing. Alright guys, the first thing I want to discuss is the choice of prison you take, because the choice of prison is really important for your play style. A lot of people say, is that choices between the prison you make? Yes, there's a big difference. I see a lot of people building open prisons or closed prisons. That's the major differences in prisons you can find. So the first prison is the closed one, in my opinion, and the best one. That is the one you see right here. It's where you have a lot more structure than in an open prison. You have a lot more, what you say, you can keep track of your prisoners in a whole other way, like to a whole new level. Because here they have to walk within the path I have given them. They cannot walk outside as they please. They can only walk to the yard in their free time, and when I have told them they can go to the yard. And basically it's just way more secure, because as you can think, I have built this as an entire what's called structure or building, and then I have a fence without outside and guard towers, which makes it really hard for people to get out. And it's just way more secure in my opinion. But of course there's some bad things to it as well. The bad thing is that the pathfinding and the path for the people is really tough, because as you can think, when there is like maybe let's say 50 people running down this like small path right here, they get really close. And actually, well, a lot of people probably don't know, but the prisoners are not happy when they are in so close places with other prisoners. It makes them unhappy. So that's a con. But another con, which is the biggest one, is probably that it's way more expensive to do this, because you have to have this big ass building. But it's something you can keep in mind, but in my opinion it's just way better, because you can also separate your buildings. As you can see, I will show you real quick, it doesn't take long. My prison is separated by 2 big ones. I have my minimum security down here, prisoners, and my medium security prisoners up here. They cannot get into the other ones, what we were gonna like places of prison. Is basically 2 prisoners within 1 prison. It's really hard to explain, but they cannot come in contact with each other. There's no way. The only way is this hallway right here and this small hallway right here. But this one right here, I have closed it off. As you can see, people will try to avoid access only zones if possible, which means they'll only go this way if they really have to. And that is when I get new prisoners in. They'll go this way and be placed in here when till guards put them in their rightful cells. And only staff can walk here. So these medium and low risk prisoners will never get in touch with each other, which in my opinion is really important. But that's up to yourself. So the open prison, as you can see, this is I built this real quick because I don't build these kinds. I don't like them. It's just in a sandbox. That's why I have like $1 million in in minus. But just look besides that. So basically, the open prison is, as you can see, a complete open prison with a fence around it. And that's all that keeps them in. And I don't like that at all. I like to have a wall and a fence and guard towers around. I have guard towers, as you can see, but it's just not the same feeling, because they'll only shoot when they get outside here, basically, or if they see tunnels. Well, that's really, I don't like it. It's just not my thing. And they'll of course shoot if there's someone attacks each other, which is a good idea with the open prison. But the pros with an open prison is the pathfinding is way better. The prisoners will be way more happy if you have an open prison with the path finding, because it's way more free. They can walk as they please, and it's just not as, I would say, locked down. Like, it's an open prison compared to the other ones that closed. It's in the words, kinda. And people are just more happy because they're not pushed together in such a small base, which they actually don't like, as I said before. That's a really big pro for it. Another pro is it's way more cheap, or way cheaper than the closed prison, because you only have to build these small sections. You don't have to build path and the whole building. As you can see, all you have to do is build a fence and then build the structures within it as you need them. It's an easier prison to make because you don't need as much planning and stuff like that. You can just build as you please. But it's nowhere near secure as the closed one, and you don't have any structure in it at all. So it's up to you to see if you want the structure and secure building compared to the cheap and open and happy prison. Of course, people are still happy in the closed one, it's just not as much. It's up to you and what design you like. It's completely up to you. So guys, the next tip I want to talk about is planning. This mostly comes to the closed prison part, but in my opinion it's so important. As you can see right here, and you think probably, holy shit, that took a long time. Not really, it depends how much you want to put into it. But as you can see, I built the prison that I love. I built the prison that I think will work so good. Because I have my staff walk in a path they only can walk in. I have my kitchen separated from the entire prison. No one can go in and kill the cooks, which I have encountered so many times and I hate it. And it's just such a good prison. And all comes down to the planning, because if I just went ahead and started building, I would maybe build like a cell right here maybe, or here, or kitchen up here or something, and I would not think ahead of what I was doing, because right now you can see how much of this space I have used, and I still have all of this left. Basically I can build this all over again on this side, which is amazing, and I can make my prison twice as big because I planned all of it ahead. And I really think in planning how you're gonna build your prison is really important, because it also comes down to infrastructure. And you think, how is infrastructure important? Because the longer you have to run, the less money you will make. I'll explain this. So you have a workshop. Sorry, this is my workshops down here. If you had a workshop placed up here and your forestry was down here, you have to run a long way back and forth, and you don't need that. So my forestry is going to be right here. It's going to be really easy for my people to access it, because there's a door right there and they just run back and forth, kinda. And it's really easy to get the resources to the place where I produce it. Another thing is, I placed my kitchen and my canteen in the center of it all. I want to show you how centered it is. Look right here. There is 73 from the fence. Oh, sorry. Oops, sorry. There is 75 from the outer wall, or where the map ends, to the kitchen wall. I'm gonna do the same on the side, and you can see 75 again. My kitchen is the center of it all. That is really important in my opinion, because the kitchen is where people have to run every single day, and where your staff need to be to make food for them. Where most of you men or people or staff, prisoners, is going to be together at once. That is the kitchen / canteen. So have it centered and build around it. What I have done, as you can see, because I planned ahead, I have built a pathway around it, as you can see, and they can still access the kitchen. Sorry, But the prisoners cannot access my kitchen. That's the most important thing. And as you can see, this is a staff walk up pathway, what do you want to call it. And only the staff can walk this path. Because when my prisoners arrive, they arrive in here, they'll walk into the reception right here. There's going to be a door right here. And they have to go this way around. And when they get past this wall right here, or this wall actually right here, they cannot no longer access this part. And if they walk inside this part, they cannot no longer access this. All of this is only possible because I planned it ahead. So many things in this game you have to plan ahead and think forward. You can't just build for the moment. This is why I find planning one of the most important things in the game. Alright guys, so next thing I want to talk about is your prisoners itself. I've seen so many people who just start out with high risk or normal risk. Mostly normal because that's what you're normally given. But please stop it. Just go into your reports. Come on, open it. Why is it not opening up? There you go. And go into intake and just drag this down. It's simple as that. Drag that down. Close it up. Just don't take it in. And I'll explain why right now. Because... holy shit, that was close. Someone almost escaped. That was mean. I have so much room to do this. If it was an open, I could like... oh well. The prisoners. Don't do medium because... especially early in, because you simply can't afford it. There's no way your prison and the amount of money you make at that point can hold prisoners with normal security, sorry. Because you need extra security. You need extra metal detectors. You need extra CCTV cameras. Did I say that right? CCTV, yeah. And you need less work in the workshop, which is just bad as fuck because they'll get mad if they don't. And all these things. But mostly you cannot afford it early. You just simply cannot afford having medium risk prisoners in your prison early. It's fine if you do it later. And I don't really care how when you say I have 1,000 hours in the game maybe and I know exactly how everything works. I don't really care. Because I bet you, if you start out with minimum, you have to play for such a long time before you actually start making a decent amount of money. Look at mine right now. I make 28,000 daily cash. And you think, how the heck is that possible? I build up my prison, and I will show you my finances right here. Look my exports. This is the this is what it does. And if you build a prison with only minimum, this will probably be half of it because they don't want to work as much. As you can see, my regime right here, they work less. My minimum. Oh, sorry. My minimum work more and my normal work less. But normal risk prisoners just takes a lot more to keep under control, and they're just so expensive to have around to keep them happy. So please guys, start out with low risk prisoners and build up. You can always change it. There's no one who tells you you cannot change it at any point. And a good way of doing this is simply do what I do and go in and separate your prison into two sections. Build a I need to remove this. Build a normal risk or low risk, sorry, section of prison, and then build that first. Build up your economy, and then go over to build a normal risk, and then you can extend and go to a high risk if you feel like it. But always keep in mind, start with minimum risk prisoners. Don't go to normal. It's not worth it. Trust me. The next thing I want to talk about is the economy side of the game. A lot of people simply don't understand the money part of the game, economy part, call it what you want. A lot of people think that you don't get money from your prisoners. It's simply, and you think, who is so stupid? Well, they're not stupid. They just don't understand the game. In like details. Basically, if you go on the finances, you can see right here, prisoner grant $18,750. That is the amount of money I get from having the amount of prisoners I have at this moment every single day / month, because in the game it takes us a month, but for you it only takes a day. So here it takes a day, but that's confusing. But basically, I get $18,750 per day for having the amount of prisoners. But then you have to count in, if I have to spend $11,000 on security on my guards every single day, that's more than half. That's like 60% of the income I get already. Then you have to put in the workmen, the administrators, the staff, which is the cooks, the janitors, the gardeners, and is there any more? Oh yeah, your sniper. No, sniper goes into guard, I think. I'm not quite sure about that. I can't remember. And then you have your food, which is the food you give to your prisoners, and then reform programs, which is your programs to get them to go to class, get them to take an education, do the alcoholic group therapy and stuff like that. Finance again. And all that simply is above the prisoner grant you get every single month. And then you get the federal grant, which is basically you having a prison. So you get, or I get right now, $20,750 for having a prison with the amount of prisoners I have. But all my expensive on the guards actually outweighs, plus the taxes of course, outweighs that money. Because if you look at this right now, you'll see I have exports from yesterday, which is $32,000, which is a lot. And then you look at my subtotal, or my total of profit every single day, which is 28,186. Oh, sorry, 68. And then you think I make 32,000, which means if I didn't have my export, I would not make any money. Which means you should always do your exports. Exports, people are thinking, what is export? Is it your shop? Is it your, what is it? And I will tell you right now, your shop has its own, why is it not going on? Your shop has its own, as you can see right there, shop revenue. It's not that. So you have to think, what is it then? It's your workshop. It's simply this thing right here, which is mine. And not all people simply don't understand the workshop, to be honest. I'm gonna explain it in very small details right now. If you want to know more, I'll leave a link in the description to a video where I talk all about the workshop and all you need to know about it. Good. So basically, a lot of people only build what is called license plates. And yes, that is good if you want to make, say, 5,000 a day. If you want to 5-doubled, 6-doubled that a day, you want to build superior beds. And a lot of people simply don't understand how that works. So basically, you need a forestry, because that is where they get the wood from. And the wood goes into forestry and stuff like that. So you need to understand how to build superior beds to get an economy where you earn what is now, it just went down because my exports wasn't as good this day, but around $20,000 a day. And that is a really healthy economy. I understand how the economy works in the game, and the way you need to understand is basically understand the workshop. So check out the video where I explain all about the workshop. Alright guys, so the last tip I want to give you is probably the second most important thing in my opinion, where is the workshop slash economy is the most important thing. This is about your prisoners, that's not a word, is it? Oh well. Your happiness of your prisoners, alright? And a lot of people think, how do I control this? And a lot of people simply don't seem to understand how you control this, because they think they just need a laundry, a parole place and a shop and a yard and common room or whatever they need, right? Yes, but no. Because if you build a yard, as an example, if I build this yard, but in a 24-hour cycle, I only give them 1 hour in the yard. That means nothing to them. They will not get happy, they will not get the exercise they need, they will simply just run amok. They don't like such a little program in the yard. So, what I will recommend, go to reports, go under regime, and change this up. If you look at the one you get from when you start the game to mine, it's completely different. And as you can see, I've changed mine between normal and minimum security prisoners because they need their own specific way of working. My normal is right now in development because I pretty much just build the normal security part. But as you can see, I gave them 1 more hour of sleep, and I pretty much just pushed everything and removed 1 hour of work. And you think, how is that gonna change anything? This is really important, and so many people don't understand this part because they go underneath. If you go underneath right here, as you can see, my hygiene is really high right now, and that's because, whoops, they are sleeping. While they're sleeping, their bladder, hygiene, and food is the highest one. Let's see, hygiene, our bladder just went down because and food right there, and exercise of course. So you need to see which one is the first thing they need. They need food as the first thing, in my opinion, because I've learned they're gonna go amok in the showers if they don't get it. So I put in food as the first thing. Then I go look, okay, what do they need next? Okay, they need hygiene and exercise and family. Which means I go into my regime and look, okay, I give them an hour of free time, which means visitation, which means, whoops, sorry about that, yard, if they feel like it, go to the cell, take a shower, because I have luxury cells, so they have a shower in there. They can go in and watch some TV, read a book, whatever they feel like, because if you go on the needs again, their hygiene, exercise, family is high, and all those things they can get in free time at my prison. You have to change it if you don't have luxury cells and you only have the normal cells, so you need to put in a shower, and it's more complicated like that, but you have to look what your people need. Then I give them an hour of yard because the free time rarely takes down the exercise from that many. So if you give them an hour of yard time, they can go out and exercise with all of these weight benches, and then that will keep that down. As you can see right here, exercise went down a fair bit because they don't. A lot of people just walk out to the yard and just walk around, and you cannot change it because there's that choice to exercise or not. Then I go in and look, okay, what do they need now? They don't really need anything in particular. Give them work. This is where you're gonna shine, where you're gonna earn a lot of money, get a lot of people to go into drug addiction therapy, or what it's called, and go to the chapel and do laundry and all this stuff. And most important, do work in the workshop. And all of these will basically, most of them will go up as they work or do whatever they do in their work time. And when they've done that, they need to go to the bathroom, maybe they need to exercise, whatever. And that's why I have my free time first, so they can go to the bathroom, take a shower maybe. Then I have a yard to do the exercise, and then food at the end, because they don't really need food at that point because they ate at 1 p.m. So put a lot of effort into making your regime. Look into what they need. Put it into the time period they need it in. Because this will make your prisoners so happy and make them less likely to attack staff or the prisoners, try to escape, stay in drug abuse or something like that. And of course your programs, which is the alcoholic group therapy, will stop them from doing drugs, but only temporarily if you don't keep it down by keeping them happy with everything else. So if you just do alcoholic group therapy and don't keep them happy in the prison, it will not help. It will simply you'll just waste money to keep them off drugs for, let's say, 4 days, and then the drugs are back. It's not good at all. I'm just recommending keep an eye on your regime right here. Keep an eye all the time on it. Go look your needs and see, okay, are they happy right now? Do they need anything? And then go look, no they don't, I can put them to work. If they need anything particularly, put in if they need to go to the bathroom, put in a free time so they can go to the bathroom. Stuff like that. Always keep in mind, your prisoner's happiness is the second most important thing in the prison after your economy. And you only keep your economy good if your prisoners are happy and want to work. So that is it, guys. My 5 most important tips for you to build a good, strong, safe, and economically good prison. That must be a word. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to throw down a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you all next time, guys. Peace out.
Everything changes.